Hey y'all, Maya Kiana. Welcome back to the Art Exhibit Podcast. Today I get to introduce to you guys episode 5 starring Aj Mamba. Aj Mamba is a Philadelphia artist, and in this episode we do an interview based on his debut EP, Significance. We get into each track and the significance of each track, and we also talk about a little information on his personal journey, his personal experience as an artist. Of course, I asked him to give some advice for any up and coming artists and any events and things he has going on. Be sure to check the description for the link to his YouTube channel, Loudstone88, and his link tree, which has the links to all of his other websites where you can find anything else that you want to find from Aj Mamba. I also link his Instagram separately down below. So with all that being said, I want you guys to jump right into this video. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again. Finally, we can get started.
Wow.
Yeah, I got some complaints to get dealt with by Zoom. But now, welcome to the next episode of the Art Exhibit Podcast. We have Aj Mamba here again, which is another story.
Man, it's so crazy how much we had to go through just to get this done. I'm just glad that getting to talk to you again, and we could actually talk this time, and hopefully this post, you know what I mean? So yeah, especially now I got something to talk about on this one. So
right. Speaking of this episode is really jumping into your EP, your debut project, which is called Sigificance.
Yeah.
I did get the chance. Congratulations on it. Of course, I got the chance to listen to it with my boyfriend yesterday, and I think it was great. We'll get into it, of course.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? Because like I put this out. I'm not expecting anybody to like it, for real. Like I'm honestly, I'm at a point now, just as an artist, just like, let me do the stuff that I want to do. Let me do the stuff that's like true to me in particular, and stuff that I feel the need to do, and like right now I'm in that beginning stages where it's starting to figure out, all right, who likes this shit and then who doesn't, and I'm getting a lot of positive feedback so far, which is amazing and fantastic, and I'm very appreciative to everybody that has listened to it so far and have enjoyed it and shared it on social media. But at the same time, it's just like, I know it's a niche audience, so it's like, I'm not really expecting to take over the world or the planet with this EP. So
no, yeah, I feel that. That was another thing that was like evident as we listened to it, me and my boyfriend. That's why I felt kind of necessary to have somebody else there with me. We have like completely different mindsets, so
right.
It was good to have those two perspectives on it.
Yeah, and your boy, I'm getting like the vibe. Your boyfriend wasn't really feeling it, right? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting,
I would say, yeah, pretty much. Like he thought it was a good project, but it's not something that he would, put on, take initiative to put on by himself or whatever.
Right.
Just because, like you said, it's more for like a niche audience, so to speak. But we did agree that we liked the lyrics and the content of it. His only thing was just the delivery of it. But that's what made me think that it was great, because like you said, you can tell that you're just doing what you want to do, kind of just putting out art pretty much.
Yeah. It's funny, like especially doing hip hop these days, there's a certain style that kind of I don't know how to really put it, but like basically you see what's really popular in the world, right? You see like what's like the big deal, and like what's like the big, like the kind of like the standard for hip hop these days,
Yeah.
And and like I'm not really that mainstream of a person in particular. Like I get a lot of people that tell me that I am, and I'm just kind of like, man, you don't even really fucking know me, because like, this channel, Loudstone Entertainment, will tell on me completely, because it's like, I'm very nerdy. I'm very much kind of got like an old school vibe to myself.
Mm.
And with Significance, this album that kind of bleeds in with my music. It's a lot of like just kind of like speaking from my perspective and my truth and everything like that, you know. And like I don't expect majority of people to like the music, to be honest with you. Like it's kind of setting a low bar for myself. I know that, but then at the same time, it's just like I I like my style, you know, and I like how my music comes out and how like my words come out, um, because it's uniquely me. Like
Mm.
I don't really think there's that many people out there that sounds like me, you know,
Right.
which I'm very proud of. And um, I'm just like, what could I do? Could I just try to emulate everybody else and try to get as many listens as possible, or do I stay true to myself and try to like at least get honesty? Because the one thing you'll get from me is like, this is me being honest, you know.
Mm.
So
Which is extremely valuable when you talk about things like today's mainstream music, because that's one aspect that isn't there, honesty. I was
mm,
just thinking about the irony, how a term "no cat" could become so popular in today's generation, where I feel like it's all cat. but
yeah, yeah, it's true.
but I thought that was very honest and interesting what you said. You didn't expect anybody to like it. That's not something that you hear a lot of artists saying about a project that they put out.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's just like, well, that's because you know I look at it and I kind of say to myself like, you know, like if you put my album and compare it to something that Tekashi 69 made, it's completely different. Tekashi
Mm.
69 like has like a certain fan base that like will gravitate towards him, even if he is technically now known as a snitch. But that's besides the point. You know, people will
Yeah.
flock to his music, you know, because they like that style, they like what it does, even if it's not really that 100% true, in my opinion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, meanwhile, I'm kind of like a different style, a different perspective, a different. I think I'm going for a different audience in that, you know, and or basically, I might just be building a certain type of audience up from the ground up. Um, but just because I'm saying like I don't expect everybody to like my music, that's just me being realistic. You know, I'm still promoting it like a fucking maniac. You know, and I'm still like pushing stuff. And now that this EP came out, I have a couple of different singles lined up to come out within the next couple of months, just month by month, just to kind of keep like momentum going and everything like that. Because right now I'm at the ground floor, you know, and it's just trying to figure out how to get myself out there so that people that do fuck with my shit could listen to it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna be a grind. It's just gonna be a grind.
Yeah, it's all about perspective. Some people consider that the best place to be. So
Yeah.
it'll definitely be a journey, though. I see good things ahead for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course. Um, so I guess we can get into the song specifically on the album.
Sure.
Where should I start? I guess I'll start with Black People, since that was my personal favorite.
Okay. Cool. Thank. So tell me about it. Like what? Like go into detail. Tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah. That song, it kind of felt like a mantra type of song, like an anthem. Like, I don't know, it made me want to. First of all, you gave a call to action, put your hand in the air, and I definitely did, because I'm just that type of person, like, you know. But yeah, it just made me feel like real energetic and real united with my people. Like, it was just, I feel like that's like a Raleigh type of song. And
Yeah.
in like a political youth group, and we used to do like a lot of what is it, campaigns and stuff out front of the school district. So that's
Okay.
something that I was playing, like that type of setting, like where I feel like I'm going to war for my people, something like that.
Yeah.
Very motivational.
Yeah. It's wild. Like when I first heard the beat, um, I had no intentions of making it like of making that song.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the beat. I thought it was cool. I was just like, let me wait 24 hours and then I'll come back to it and write it. And you know, it's crazy because like nothing. between the first time I heard it and the first time I started writing for it, there was nothing like oppressive that happened to me as a black man. Like, it's crazy. Like, I had like a normal day where like nothing bad happened. It was like Ice Cube's A Good Day. Nothing bad happened. And then that song came back on, and I don't know, like it just bubbled up all these feelings inside, you know. And my background, like I grew up in the suburbs in South Jersey. I'm born in North Philly, but I grew up in the suburbs of South Jersey. Only black kid for a good chunk of my childhood and growing up. I went into theater, and a lot of times I would be in these casts where I'm the only black person, you know, and there's always like there's always like this thing, you know, and it's not even to like say like white people mean to like do it or anything like that. A lot of the times it's really fucking oblivious.
Yeah.
You know, but that just kind of shows how much media has an effect on us and how much television kind of like shape what we think of people, you know. Like even right now with the thing that's going on, the thing that I call Steve Carino so that no one gets a copyright strike. But like, you know, just looking at like, you know, all these people getting mad at Asian people and like boycotting Chinese food now. It's just like, you know, you've been eating Chinese food for how long?
Yeah.
They didn't bring that here. You know, like just because it started in China doesn't mean every Chinese person did it. And it's just kind of like, you know, just because it kind of relates to like the whole thing of just because like one black person treated you like shit doesn't mean every black person will do the same thing, you know, because that's racism, you know, to assume.
Right.
And I don't know, man, like, but just back to the beat, just like that song, when I sat down and just started writing it, like that song was written in about 15 minutes. And it was just kind of like this feeling of like, man, I just want everyone to know, like, you know, like there's a lot of pros and cons to blackness, you know, but the reality is like black people are capable of anything. And
Right.
sometimes I think we stereotype ourselves, and sometimes we let other people stereotype us and we try to fall into that mold, you know. And the song is just kind of like, in a nutshell, the core of it is just like, listen, we're all capable of being able to do anything,
Right.
just like every other race. So we need to kind of look at that and just embrace that more as a race. So that's kind of that's the general thing for the song that I want the most. So
That's what you hope to. That's the impact that you want to have on the people who listen to it.
yeah, you know, it's just like, you know, because I do point out a lot of flaws that black people do have too, you know,
Right.
and
Which I
like, yeah,
because it speaks to both sides. Like you said, it speaks to the entire spectrum of what black people are and can be. There's no, you know, like it's basically what you make it. Like,
yeah, there's no limits. There's no limitations, and I'm tired of our people putting limitations on themselves.
mm-hmm.
You know, you can be anything. You can like anything. You're like, come on now. Like it's just ridiculous to think that we've lived so long as a society to just allow us to just be one particular thing. That's just ridiculous. But I could talk about this for like 11 years. But so
yeah. Not to mention most things came from us in some way, shape, or form. So
that too. I remember some dude got mad at me because I listened to rock music, right? And I'm just like, you know, he was just like, that is an inherently
culture.
And I'm just like, man, you do not know your culture at all, you know? So
but I wouldn't know that either had I not been told that. So
yeah. Well, I did a lot of research on
yeah.
Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. So that's why I know. But
Yeah.
you know, that's another thing. Like, how would you know? You know, so it's just like instead of trying to dictate and isolate on what makes us black, try to think about like what makes you unique. Have that pride in your blackness. Don't get me wrong, you know, but at the same time, know that, you know, you're also a human being. You're just as capable of doing anything in the world as the standard white person is. And we
Mm-hmm.
could talk about like nepotism and like just kind of like controlling situations. That's when power and ego come into a side. I'm talking about like in particular individuality, you know.
Right.
So
Right. The core.
yeah.
Well, I would say for me personally, a song did achieve its goal.
Thank you.
And I hope it has the same effect on everybody else who listens to it.
Yeah.
So, the next song that I want to discuss is Rabbit Hole. I like this. Well, I like all of them. I like this one because it talks about, to me, what I got from it was that it kind of gets at kind of chasing materialistic things and things that aren't really important.
Right. Yeah, Rabbit Hole is probably it's one of the first two songs I ever wrote. You know, it took 4 years for this EP to come out. You know, I've been working on music for 4 years, and this is only like maybe 5% of the music I made that came out. But Rabbit Hole in particular, it was just like this idea of like, you know, damn, like I'm like struggling right now. How did it end up like this? You know, like how am I like now, you know, 1 minute you're the one, next minute you don't count. You know, how did I go from like being like this person with all this potential and like people are all like looking forward to seeing me do this and do that? How did it go from that to being like, you know, no one gives a shit, you know? And you know, it's a very reflective song when you think about it, even though it's got a really upbeat beat to it, you know. Lyrically, it's just basically like, man, you know, that I kind of fell for these pitfalls of like self-doubt and just ran into those walls, and I need to climb over those walls and everything like that. And this is me acknowledging that I've been making mistakes and I've been holding myself back. And why should I hold myself back, basically?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, no one's gonna hold your hand anymore. You gotta like figure shit out yourself. So yeah, I fucks with that.
And I saw, I read in the description, like you just said, that this was a part of music that you've been working on for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we could just like intersect and talk about that for a second, that whole
Why
build
the
up
hell?
process.
Why the hell did it take 4 goddamn years for this music to come out? Simple. Fear. Honestly, because back to what we were talking about earlier, I know I don't sound like what's normally considered popular. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not Drake. I am not J. Cole. I am not Childish Gambino or none of them people. You know, and I'm not any type of like trap music or anything like that. I'm basically just like this low key, very nerdy black guy that doesn't have hair, that is just really like reflective. And if he's gonna make a song, then there's got to be a point to it. You know, there's got to be a story, a narrative. I feel like all my songs on this EP, except for Tap Dance, is reflective of that. So, you know, and that's why the album ended up being called Sigificance, because even though it took 4 years, these 6 songs in one way or another are very significant to my progression as just not just an artist, but as a human fucking being in that 4 years. You know, Rabbit Hole was just like this acknowledgement of trying to figure out, of finally realizing who I am and realizing, you know, things aren't going the way that I planned it. So I need to kind of get my shit together and try to figure shit out, you know. Ride is kind of like one of those tracks that you can just ride to. That's but it also talks about romance and just how it's how challenging that shit is. You know, you could be having like the most perfect relationship, and then all of a sudden, because someone changes their mind, it could end just like that. I've been through that. But the funny thing is, I wrote that song before I've been through anything like that, and now that I've gone through that, now that song's like fucking cuts deeper to me. It's crazy. And then like tap dance is just the side of myself that's just like, yo, fuck it, I want to have fun too. I want to turn up. I don't give a fuck,
I was going to ask how that one came on the EP.
Well, honestly, personally, for me, it's my favorite song. Because it's nothing like anything else I've done. Absolutely nothing like anything else. Like it's really just, what it reminds me of? Early 2000s hip hop. Like stuff that would be on 106 in Park back in the day and everything like that. You're young, you don't even remember. But I just but like, it's just that early 2000s stuff, man. I used to be so big into like So Def music. Yes, I was a Bow Wow fan because there was a time where Bow Wow was dope. That's not.
I didn't listen to the music. I just thought it was cute.
Well, like I was thinking musically. But yeah, man, like just that dirty South music and everything like that. It had kind of like a little bump to it, It was like a little vibe, and I missed that type of music. So we were in the studio at Rotation Records one day, and Quave was with me. And Quave, well, it was Quave's session, but he had no idea what to do, so he just gave it to me, right? Which was like great. And then that's how this song was made. We just went in there and just made shit up. I came up with the hook just like that. I looked at Quave and just said, like, Quave, you hype. You can do this. And then he just knocks it out of the park immediately. I come up with my lyrics right then and there. We have a session a little while later where Quave comes in with his lyrics, and I come up with the ending, and it just turns into this crazy, like, turn-up beat that, honestly, I really do think that could play in a club randomly if you sneak it on and not tell them it's me.
Yeah, I feel that I agree with that. I think that's one, like if I was to hear it on the radio or something like that, like I think that may be the song to pop just because it's kind of similar to the mainstream.
Yeah.
And what we're used to dealing with today.
I feel like it's the most mainstream I can get, to tell you the truth. Like right now, there's like a couple of promotions that are in play right now. One of those is Air It Out Radio, which is like Philly's. It's one of the biggest internet radio stations in Philadelphia. And
I need to get in contact with
that. Yes. airitoutradio.net, definitely. They just had like an interview with Ron Killings. They had Salt and Pepper there, CeCe Pennison, and a whole bunch of different names, past, present, and future, that are like really dope. And they're still going right now, despite everything. And I know starting this week, coming up, tap dance is supposed to start being in their rotation.
Wow.
So, it's like it's radio play. It's dope, right? So it's like, okay, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if like people enjoy that or not. I don't know, but we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And shout out to Quave, man. He really did his thing on that track. His energy makes that track what it is. Yeah,
like, shout out to him. I met him a couple times at New Person News.
Yeah.
So shout out to him and his work on it.
Yeah. He's starting to review albums for Newports and News' YouTube channel.
Okay.
That's pretty dope. Glad he's doing that. Glad he's still being active too, man, because like he's really talented. So yeah.
That's dope.
Well, I was talking about why your song is significant. Countdown for the Win is significant only because, that's kind of definitely, you got to be a wrestling fan in order to like enjoy that one. But like it's also like a little chill bop as well. And then there's so many wrestling references in it that I'm like personally proud of that one. And that's kind of me kind of owning up to my nerdiness,
Yeah.
Owning up to like this, like, I don't know, like this childish part of me that just is not going away at all. So, instead of like trying to hide it, more so embracing it. And you know, there it is there.
Yeah.
And then Black people for everything that we said there as well. And then This Is 30, kind of being kind of like my whole like uh reality of dealing with my age and everything like that, and how, you know, we always put like these like um we always put like a lot of pressure on the number 30 in society. Like that's such a big deal as a name, like to the point,
Yeah.
yeah, to the point where like nobody can like, everybody deals with that at some point, like, you know, because we've hyped the number 30 so much to be like such a like definitive thing. Like I know for me, I used to say to myself, and this is like first time I'm ever saying this publicly, um like I had like a little piece of paper that I always kept in my wallet ever since I started college, right? And that little paper had two things on it. It said, I have to be successful in my entertainment career by the time I was 30. And it also said, I I should be
Oh my God.
I
The
should
pressure.
be yeah, and it also said I should be in a relationship by the time I was 30. Little did I know though, I pretty much set myself up for failure because like the theater thing fell out of my own stubbornness. Like I shouldn't have been doing theater at all. Like people say that I was good at theater, but honestly speaking, like I didn't love it. I hated it with a passion. I liked the people. I just didn't like doing
Mm,
it. And I don't think you should do something that you don't like, you know.
definitely.
Um, and then the whole relationship thing, man, that just put a whole bunch of pressure on me to never really be able to even like approach women out of the fear that it wouldn't go well. So like I just ended up like fucking myself over on that too. Missed out on a lot of opportunities, but you know,
Yeah.
like a couple months before I turned 30, I made that song, and that was kind of for me to just, that was really the beginning of letting go of all like these um of letting go of all these things that shackled me and held me back and everything like that. Still took some time for me to fully let go of it because, you know, I still like was hard on myself for not succeeding,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like, you know, I just been able to breathe since, you know, and I that had to be on this EP because even listening to it now, it's like, man, it resonates with me so much more now than it did when I first wrote it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just so it just hits me to the core. So
Mhm.
um yeah, and that's kind of what each song, that's kind of the significance of each song to me. So the album, EP, whatever you want to call it, the name of it being significance is just, you know, how are these things significant to me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Um,
it's a lot. I know.
yeah, it's a lot.
I just talked for like an hour. So yeah.
But you definitely talk like being a psychology student, I always think about how people can be better and, what is our biggest obstacle. And you kind of are a testament that it is ourselves.
Yeah.
Because once you kind of overcame like your own personal limits that you set up, you kind of just been knocking down your goals, it seems like.
Yeah. And this hasn't been like an overnight thing, man. Like again, like I'm 31 now, you know, and I'm sitting here like I'm finally doing the stuff in entertainment that I really wanted to do. I've always wanted to have this entertainment. I call it an entertainment company. Me and Abra, you know, we're business partners on Loudstone Entertainment. We call it an entertainment company, but the reality is, it's really just our excuse to create content that we want to do and not have to rely on someone else to give us the go ahead to do it. You
Yeah.
know, we kind of like our own boss with that. So,
Yeah.
which I can't wait for everybody to be able to go outside again because there's so many projects that have been written that we're ready. We're like itching to just film it, but we just want to have people involved, and you know,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
hard.
yeah, it's hard right now, but it'll happen eventually. So
Definitely. basically, I appreciate you coming onto the channel for talking about your project and also just bringing your information, your vibes, and being kind of a representation of where hard work can get you, with believing in yourself can get you, and a testament to the fact that it's not easy, but it's possible.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's been really tough. So yeah.
What would be some advice that you would give to the next up and coming artist in terms of I guess like persistence?
Advice. Okay. I think the best advice I can give in general is just don't compromise who you are. You know, it's very tempting to do that because then, you know, especially if money's involved. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if you want to have overall happiness as an artist, um, as ridiculous as this may sound, you gotta take your own self health first. You know, like, you know, don't compromise who you are just to sell these records, man. Like, let the audience grow organically and let the people come to you with the stuff that you want to make. You know, um, that's kind of like the main thing I would say. But in regards to being persistent, just fucking do it, man. like like honestly, what are you waiting for? I started a company during the apocalypse, and it's really successful for a beginning company that has only posted one video. Um, you know, just do it, man. Nike has that as a slogan for a reason, you know.
Yep.
If you want to get it done, get it done. That's why I commend you for doing your thing. You know,
Thank you.
I love this podcast because it's just you're just saying, fuck it. I want to interview artists. I want to get to know what they want to know. I want to understand their process more, understand where they're coming from more, and present them and everything like that. And I'm just like, look, she's just fucking doing it. You know, I love the interview with Baeo.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah. So you know, I think it's just something for all of us. Just do it. You know, stop giving ourselves excuses to not do things. You know, because the reality is, like, no matter how crazy things are, there's still time in the day to get something done that you want to get done. You know,
Definitely.
so, and that's something I gotta tell myself all the time because I'm developing this big ass gut, and I hate sit ups, but I'm still trying to do them and everything like that. No matter how much I dread them, I hate them.
Being in the house 24/7, nothing to do but eat.
Right?
The situation.
Oh man, yeah. So you know, I sit here and once I'm done talking to you, I got some stuff I need to attend to, and then I spend the rest of the day editing videos for the channel. You know, because we start launching videos every day on the channel starting Sunday night, tomorrow night with this video game, John, that that uh that I did. But yeah, man, like it's just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great advice. I second that. Third it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Um, so continuing with the advice, soliciting some for myself. What would you say about discipline in terms of, because like sometimes it's easy to just do it, but once you've done it, it's like how do you keep it going? Like kind of like the momentum that you spoke about.
Yeah, no, for me, discipline, um for me in particular, it's like this thing of, all right, I feel a certain sense of motivation just by completing a project. It kind of proves to me, it validates to me that it's possible to do when I actually do it. So for me in particular, I get like this weird shot of serotonin in my brain where it's just like, holy shit, I did that. Let me do that again. And then like I could see things on where I can improve from the first one because you're never perfect ever, you know. And you just continue to improve on and on and on from that, you know. So that's kind of how I do it. I know for a lot of people, it's like hard to like get motivated to do something again, especially if it takes a lot of energy the first time and you're not getting the results that you want. But I think another thing that needs to be accounted for is what your definition of success is. You know, like if your definition of success is that you release your first album and you get about 500,000 streams in a week, and if that's what your level of success is, and then you don't achieve that, more than likely you're not going to be really motivated to do it again. You know,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it yeah, but like for me in particular, my definition of success these days is just actually getting it done. Like I don't know how many people are going to listen to Significance EP. I really don't. But the fact that it's out is what made it a success for me because it was completed. It
Right.
was so that's like a huge accomplishment for me, and that's kind of like me being very prideful about that in my own heart, you know, and that's kind of what's making me continue to promote it, continue to do podcasts like with you, continue to just go out there and luckily for me, like learning that going out there and going on podcasts like this and speaking to people has been really beneficial to getting more eyes on the project. I did a podcast last week in the UK because of a fan that that knows me from pro wrestling, which is a whole other podcast, right? But now I'm getting streams in the UK, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. That's like a whole new market out there.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So I think that makes sense. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I
All
follow you.
right.
I know exactly.
Okay, cool. Because
I can relate. Yeah.
right, yeah,
Just like every time I post a video after I'm finished editing the video, I can finally post it up on YouTube. Like you said, I'm not really concerned about the views at that time. I'm just happy that I did it. Like,
yeah, yeah. You
the
know,
window.
and I think that's like the thing for like the both of us. You know, like we're both still in the very beginnings of this whole creative process. You know, like for me, it's just being in a different field that doesn't have me on stage being an actor, reciting lines that someone else wrote. Now I'm my own. I'm really more of an artist now than I ever was as an actor. Um, and it's still like a new experience for you. It's doing these podcasts and just getting these guests and scheduling the time and getting them together and then having to go through all the crap that Zoom put us through earlier today.
Right. Getting
And,
the process streamlined.
yeah, yeah, right. But like once you go through all that and then you see it's done and it's accomplished, that's like the joy of it, you know.
Mhm.
And it really reminds me of that thing that people say about like, oh, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah.
The journey's been dope for me with Loudstone Entertainment. So I've been, and with my music and with video games and all this stuff. Like right now, I'm making like a list video for my top 10 favorite animes, you know, and that's kind of like a brand new thing for me as well. And I will damn sure be happy when that's over because that shit is hard, but I'll feel accomplished and then I'm going to want to do it again. And then that's how you get better. So,
Right.
yeah.
Really. Wow.
Right.
Well, I keep going in with that advice. Everybody, please take that personal. Take everything in this video. And do the extra research.
So personal. Yeah.
So now I wanted to ask you to plug anything else that you have going on. I'll post a link to the EP in the description and any other links that you would want to send me.
Right.
Where the people can reach you at and anything else you have going on.
Right. So, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is at AJ_Mamba. My business partner Abra is also on his Instagram where he posts his photography and everything like that. Dope ass photography, mind you. You want to type in Abra, ABRA.productions, and then you can follow him on Instagram. And then it's our company, Loudstone Entertainment. And honestly, the best way to follow our company is through our link tree which is linktr.ee/loudstone88, all one word. That'll be in the description of this video. And that'll have links to the album Sigificance, and it'll have a link that takes you to where it's available on, like Spotify, Apple Music. You just click on that link and it'll take you to whichever service that you use. We have merchandise through Teespring. That link is in the link tree. Our social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, even we're all in that one link, you know, and that link will be very important for us, like for like any other projects that we have in the future. You'll just see the link in that link tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all heard that link tree. All the links will be included in the description, so make sure you check that.
Facts. Yeah.
Great though. Thanks again for your time, AJ. It was great to see you again.
Yeah, this was a long time coming. Thanks for having me. So appreciate it.